My name is Michael Lewis. I'm the publisher and editor of Miami Today, and it's a great pleasure to have you with us to talk about a topic that I've long wanted to tackle in this community. We're all about quality. We think our community should all be about quality as well, and I know this panel is as well, and most of you in the audience whom I know. What we're talking about is something called Put in the Queue in Miami, and how can Miami market itself based on quality. That, of course, raises a host of related questions, including how can we really measure quality, and whether we have the quality needed to do the job. There's no sense trying to sell quality if we don't have it. And what I'm talking about is competing on the basis of being best or among the best, rather than primarily being the cheapest or the trendiest or having the best weather or having affinity for ethnic or language groups, all of which are important. But if we can't sell quality, we may not be ahead of the curve in the years that are coming. These are hard questions. I think I've been doing these roundtables for 25 years, Miami Today has. This is the best panel. I've had great panels in the past. This is the best single panel we've had to answer a question like that. It's made up of real experts. You know who they are. As you look around, as I was just saying to Bill Talbert here, we also have a star-studded audience. I could have picked 3 or 4 good panels out of our audience on the same topic and talked about it, maybe 5 or 6 looking around, and we could have done the same thing with a high-quality panel as well. And the panelists were also talking about the quality of our audience. Before we get started today, let's have one of our experts. It's our host, Brian Keeley, the CEO of Baptist Health South Florida. Give a welcome to us, Brian.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everybody. I've had the pleasure of living in Miami for 40 years, and every time I travel and I fly back in, I said, what a great place. I mean, the downtown area is nothing short of spectacular. Being in the healthcare arena, one of the reasons Mike asked me to make just some welcoming remarks, knowing our commitment to quality, and that's something that's really one of the passions of Baptist Health. But when I look at something we initiated about 10 years ago, and Frank knows about that, and we did that with several of other organizations like the Beacon Council. We put together a task force of interested collaborative parties down there who heretofore used to fight like cats and dogs, the University of Miami and Baptist and Children's and a host of others, and we put together this initiative to create this medical mecca in South Florida. And I think that exists today. We have, in no uncertain terms, we have world-class healthcare here, not just with the Baptist Healths of the world, but also with the new FIU Medical School, which is going to be a huge benefit to this community over here. And the Jacksons of the world with the world-class trauma care, the University of Miami with the world-class genetic care, Children's Hospital, a full range of services. We got great facilities down here, great doctors down here. This is absolutely world-class, and this is what it's all about. When you look at healthcare, for 40 years, and I've been with it 40 years, we've never had a lot of good quality information, and everything up to now has really been reputation-based. Well, this is the best organization, the best hospital, the best that. Really basically undocumented, and we needed something like a consumer reports guide for healthcare. And I think that's the direction we're going, and I think that we're making this huge transition. It's a revolution in healthcare today, the quality revolution. We're transitioning from reputation-based medicine that's not very credible to evidence-based medicine, and all that information is out right now. And that's been accumulated, and again, this has not occurred up until 3 years ago. It never happened in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 80s, 90s, and what have you. It started happening in this century. And the data was coming from the Mayo Clinics of the world and the Johns Hopkins of the world. We started accumulating this evidence-based medicine. So no longer was it an opinion or was it some type of rhetorical type of comment, but it was evidence-based information based upon the latest best practices. The beautiful thing about where we're going, where this train's going, it's going to be transparent. It's going to be open to public scrutiny, and it's going to be from credible, objective sources, and not going to be underwritten by private industry, the pharmaceutical companies, or what have you. And that's essentially where we're going. And with the Obama administration, you've been watching that. There's 2 really fascinating components that are buried in both the Senate and the House bill. One is the comparative effectiveness studies. No longer are you going to look at a gizmo or a drug or what have you and compare it to a placebo. You can compare it to each other. It's like a race. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. It's never been done before, and I think that's great. And the other thing is value purchasing. No longer you're going to pay for stuff or for procedures or for this or that. You're going to pay for quality, and we applaud those efforts. So what's Baptist Health doing? We started retooling about 5 years ago. We believe quality is going to be the driver. Not only is it going to drive our success, it's going to drive down cost. There's a tremendous amount of duplicity and a lot of waste in the system, so we believe that. And the information is coming from our own federal government. If you look on www.hospitalcompare.gov, there's this huge database that we actually participated in pilot studies a number of years ago. There's 26 quality metrics, evidence-based quality metrics, that is comparing every single hospital in the United States. It's a mandate. You have to participate in it. And if you don't participate in it, they're going to reduce your Medicare reimbursement. So everybody's participating in that. And soon that'll be up to 50 quality metrics. They're all measurable, evidence-based metrics. And then it's going to jump to the outpatient centers. We've got a bunch of those around. Then it's going to jump to the doctor's offices. So you're going to have report cards in every hospital, every outpatient center, and every physician, which I openly applaud in a very, very transparent, evidence-based fashion. And so this is what's coming out right now. And so we have all this data that's on the data. It's in the web sheet, on the web pages right now. And what do? We do comparative analyses, comparing our data compared to all the other organizations. And we use basically two benchmarks. We compare all of our hospitals, unadulterated data from a third source, very credible, objective source, to every other hospital in South Florida. You've probably seen our ads. And then we compare ourselves to all the hospitals in the United States. The problem is there's 6,000 hospitals. The chart would be a mile long, so we decided to go to the best. We use the new U.S. News and World Report on our own hospital. And we get their metrics, we get our metrics, and those are the ads you see in the paper. So that's what it's all about. The quality race is on. We believe we use it here for the local market where we're competing against everyone else like they're competing against us. But we have a huge international program, and that's really important because we want to make sure when the people from Caracas and from Venezuela, from Guatemala and places like that come north, they stop and they come to Miami. They don't go to New York, they don't go to other places, Texas and what have you, but they come to this wonderful place called Miami. So with Michael, with those introductory remarks, I turn it back to you.
Thank you, Brian. That's a good table setter for us for what we're going to do today. Let me talk to you just a second, if I can, about some procedures and where we're going today. We're being filmed today by WPBT Channel 2's YouView session, if you're wondering what the filming is. The video of our program and the interviews with many of you, either before or afterwards, will soon be available on their website. And second, you'll see this event reported next week in Miami today. Zach Fagenson, our reporter, and Maxine Houston, the photographer, are here. You'll see the story and photos next week. You'll find them as well in our e-paper, electronic paper online, and on our website, www.miamitodaynews.com. You can click on the button so you get to the e-paper. They'll get you to the video. I'm going to start with a few questions here. Brian's sort of given us a table set, and then I want to kind of open it up to each of you on the floor. Our panel is well known, but it's customary to do a little bit of introduction. I'm going to be very, very brief. You've met Brian Keeley, the Baptist Hospital Health CEO, South Florida CEO. You should all know Frank Nero, who runs the Beacon Council here, the president and CEO, our county's economic development partnership. On my immediate left, Bill Talbert, William Talbert III, president and CEO of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, our visitor industries marketing organization. And Frank and Bill have parallel but different roles in terms of bringing things into this community, and I think they're very important. And of course, you all know the new president of Florida International University, Mark Rosenberg, recently returned home after running the state's Board of Regents, which governs the Florida university system. So he's been looking at the whole state's university system. He's now back home looking at a university that he spent many years at. We have really good hands-on practical experience at this table of four men who can really tell us what's going on in quality. I'm going to start the questioning, and I'll start just with Mark at the far left. And I'm going to ask a question that I think I know the answer to, or we wouldn't all be here, but I think we need to have the answer from experts, and maybe they'll disagree with us. Should we be counting on quality as the horse that's going to pull Miami's wagon? Is quality really what we should be selling ourselves based on, or at least should it be our number one thing?
Well, historically, for us, we've counted on geography, we've counted on natural resources, and there are some continuities, natural resources in terms of sun and sand. There are some continuities. Our geography is our destiny, and I don't think we can look away from that as a core competency. But having said that, the marketplace is global, and what determines success in the marketplace really is quality. And I define quality as best in class, but I think that also is complemented by competitiveness. And in competitiveness, I would look at, very simply, it's already been mentioned, world class. So best in class, world class are two critical elements to that. And as it relates to our public institutions in particular, too often we have been content with mediocrity. And part of the reason for that is because we could always import talent. Increasingly, it's difficult to import talent as a substitute for generating our own. So I think quality is critically important, and what we should strive for is best in class, but we got to understand that best in class has to be defined at a world global standard, and that we have to work hard to understand what that world global standard is in order to understand when we have quality. And that's, I think, Brian's point about outcomes, measurements. Truth of the matter is, right now that's national, but it won't be long until it's international and global, those standards. So, you know, we won't just be thinking about the best facilities, the best hospitals, the best healthcare in the United States. We'll have standards that we can benchmark against that are global standards. And probably the sooner we get there, the greater the challenge will be for us to approximate quality, Michael, but the greater the likelihood we'll be able to get there.
Well, the man who's in the industry that sold sun and sand forever, Bill Talbert, tell us how we transition, or do we?
Well, we're there already. Look at this building. Look at this hotel. This hotel didn't exist a few years ago. Really, the real turning point in terms of quality, I'm going to translate quality into the word luxury. You wouldn't have used the word luxury or quality about this destination not that long ago. It's how fast the global marketplace is changing. But if you look back in basically 1990, when a public-private partnership supported the Lowe's Hotel on Miami Beach. And really, before Lowe's, there was really nothing on the hotel landscape. And after Lowe's, we got 60 new hotels. You went from 0 to 3 Ritz-Carltons, 4 Seasons, a Mandarin Oriental. We actually here in Miami had the Mandarin Oriental before New York City did. I don't know if you know that. Everybody's seen the Time Warner. Ours was up and running before they started construction in New York. Who would have thought years ago that Miami would have something before New York? And even the current wave of the Canyon Ranch on Miami Beach. Everybody know the Canyon Ranch brand? That's about luxury, that's about quality. Oh yes, yeah, spa month, right? And only in Miami would you tear down a Holiday Inn and build a W. The new W on Miami Beach replaced a Holiday Inn. So that's quality and luxury. It's been very, very fast. Obviously, the positioning has something to do with it, but we're a global, this is an international community. If you don't think so, look at Art Basel. Art Basel's been here 8 years. We were part of a team, we didn't lead it, but we were part of a team back in the year 2000 that went to Basel. You know, we have a lot of art people here, and they had a vision in Miami to have the #1 contemporary art show in the world set up a show here. Is that nuts? Miami? They're never leaving. And that's the #1 contemporary art show in the United States. 3 years ago, the New York Times had the headline, Art Basel, Miami Beach. Art Costco for billionaires. Now, I've been here 40 years. I have been here 40 years. And I don't, you know, we talk about the sun and the fun, but here's a cultural renaissance. When in the world, in our history, would you have art, Miami, and billionaires in the same phrase? Huh? You would have said you're nuts. The Basel show is never going to leave. It's the #1 contemporary art show. And it's only 8 years old. South Beach Wine and Food, the #1 show in the country. We've got it all. It's about luxury, but it's also now what will transition us, and stop me, is we have product. We have all this product.
Can't stop it.
Four Seasons, a Mandarin, a JW, and now an Epic, a Viceroy, all in a row, all brand new products. All brand new products, luxury products, quality products. What we are closing the gap on is you have to match quality products in a quality destination with world-class customer service. And you might have seen an October article in, what publication is this?
I can't read it.
Yeah, it's a small print. In Miami Today. And it's all the same. But it's about customer service. It's about customer service, and we're partnering with the airport to train all 35 staff people in cutting-edge customer service. Whether you have a federal uniform, or you sell trinkets, or you work for the airport. So we're raising, as part of the Miami Begins With Me and the new program, Miami Begins With MIA. You got quality infrastructure, and we're raising the level of customer service. Not in our surveys that we had bad customer service, but when you raise the product to world class, you then have to have not okay customer service, you have to have world-class customer service. And what the beauty of the 5-star hotels arriving, whether it's the Four Seasons, the Ritz-Carltons, and all of those, they have one standard. It's luxury, quality service. That's helped the whole destination raise its profile. But, you know, quality, you can just look around this room, and the 3 Ritzes are all in different marketplaces. Key Biscayne is a different market than here. South Beach is a different product, but I've changed luxury, quality into luxury, and you look at, we have the largest percentage of non-U.S. visitors of any place in the United States. It's approaching 50%. You'd say, huh, what? New York City, you know what their percentage is? 17%. Foreign visitors stay longer and spend more. And they're also the kind of customer that every place in the United States wants to get from us. So we work very hard. If you look at Sunny Isles, that whole place has been leveled, and you've got the Aquilina and the Trump Towers, and you've created a whole new destination right here in the Miami-Dade brand, a luxury destination right here. So that's a lot to say, but I'm glad to live here. You're looking at the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl coming. One of the reasons we were late, CBS is going to be broadcasting this. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and Alice is here from the DDA. The New Orleans Saints will be staying at the Intercontinental Hotel downtown. And the lights, Alice, the lights going to be on? Huh? You're working on it. Well, when they arrive on Monday, the Centros building is going to have the New Orleans Saints colors on the side. But
What building is that? Miami Tower? Miami Tower.
Formerly known as. But thank you very much.